We got to get into some other things, like Jimmy's date last night.
Hey. Now, Jimmy tried pulling some shenanigans by saying yesterday he wasn't sure if his girl,
Kate
his
Beckinsale,
little lady friend, Kate Beckinsale, was going to show up last night or tonight.
Yeah,
But he knew it was last night. He just didn't want a lot of people showing up interfering with him, trying to C-block him.
Well, let me tell you something. I was going down to the cellar tonight.
Yeah, check it out.
I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure, but I did assume it was last night.
Well, I want to know everything. What a faggot.
So Kate Beckinsale met Jimmy Norton on Leno when Jimmy was doing Leno last week.
Yep.
She said that she's going to be in New York soon, and she'd love to check out Jimmy as he does some stand-up.
Jimmy gave her the digits.
Yeah,
digits.
Jimmy, when he's hanging out, he does the Comedy Cellar almost every night in New York City here.
Yeah.
And so then there were some communiques going back and forth between her people and Jimmy personally.
Jimmy personally, because he has no people.
Because he has no people doing that for him yet.
And I guess a day was set up, which was last night, that she was going to come down and see Jimmy perform.
And Jimmy tricked us all and said it was going to be over the weekend.
And now I was telling Jimmy yesterday, this Kate Beckinsale sounds interested in some way, shape, or form, and that after the show, you do your set, you go down to say hello to her, meet her, whatever, that he should then ask her what's she doing the rest of the night and maybe go out for a cup of coffee or something like that, just to get the ball rolling between you and the lovely Kate Beckinsale. Now, I'm not even looking at you because I don't want an expression to ruin it for me. I love these stories. I want to know exactly what happened every step of the way from the time you found out she was showing up last night until you went home alone with your hand. I just want to know what happened.
Well, I got the call. Today's Friday, so I think it was Wednesday afternoon. On Wednesday, I got a call from. I got a message. Hi, this is so and so. I'm Kate's assistant, and she mentioned she wanted to come see you, so she was going to come see me Wednesday night. So I arranged it all. I had late spots. I forgot to call in the Comedy Cellar. I was in L.A. doing Leno, which usually you call in Tuesdays. So I had really late spots. So I'm like, oh, man, I don't want her to have to come late to come see me.
Yeah.
Because she's probably doing press for the Adam Sandler movie she's in. So I call Esty, and it's a big nightmare for me to arrange this. Like, to go from 11:30 to, like, 9:40. Because she has to switch a bunch of crap, but I go through it.
But you have to.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I don't know who she's going to bring with her, but the assistant says you might want to save it for like 3 people, 4 people, just in case.
Oh,
She might bring the assistant, she might bring a friend, she might bring her husband. I think she's married. I don't know.
But all I read about in the papers is how her marriage stinks on ice.
Oh, yeah, it's on the Fritz.
She just got married, I think.
On the Fritz. As a matter of fact, there was a quote in the paper yesterday where a reporter walked up to her and said, well, here's the happy couple. Something like that, and she turned to the reporter and said some snide remark. Yeah, she goes, yeah, you look like the happy couple, and she turned to the reporter and said, oh, that's a surprise. Like, they're not happy, they're just out doing something probably that they have to do. So, on the Fritz, anyway, Jimmy, continue, sorry.
No, it should be good it's good to fill people in on the backstory.
Yeah, a little backstory.
Backstory is always helpful. Radio 101, they told me in the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Right.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm all set up. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm like, not a problem. She's lovely. I had a call back a couple hours later from the assistant. Look, Kate has to get up. I told Kate about setting everything up, and Kate said, look, we have to do press really early. She was getting up like 6 o'clock yesterday morning. She's like, is it possible we can just switch Thursday? That's a little bit easier for her. And I'm like, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No. Oh, my God. Huge problem.
No.
Because you already switched times around and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I called Keith Robinson, who's one guy I actually switched with, and he screamed at me, make up your mind, stupid. But he's like, he didn't care. Yeah, I kept the spot because he wasn't able to get in time. So he switched with me again last night, because he's a good friend. So I switched the spot. It's kind of a pain in the ass again.
Of course.
And I called the assistant because I hadn't heard from her. I figured, maybe We did our little radio thing yesterday, and I didn't hear from.
Oh no! You thought we blew up your spot?
Yes. I called the assistant.
You're thinking our hotel. She's like, "Well, he's on this radio show.
Let me tune it in.
Let me tune it in."
So, Jim, what are you gonna do with her?
Right.
So I call the assistant, and I'm like, "Hey, it's Jim. Kate thought was going to come tonight, so I tried to see how many seats you needed."
Oh, you desperate guy! You call her.
Yeah.
Remember me? I'm Jimmy Norton.
Jimmy Norton.
Norton, the comic.
We
calling about the seats. Just calling about the seats. Courtesy call.
Conan.
Leno last week. On the couch there.
Courtesy call. Courtesy call here for seats that she might need.
Yeah.
So I left that message right after the show yesterday.
Yeah.
And, I went home, did some stuff, relaxed, slept a little bit, and woke up. And I had to go down to the cellar at like 9-something, so I figured like by 7 p.m., when the assistant had to call me back, I'm like, well, it's got to just be a big mistake.
Oh, no.
Oh, this would be a big mistake. So I called the assistant again.
Oh,
you did not.
Oh, Dan, desperate.
Yeah. Hi, that's how you know it's a bad message when you start the message clearing your throat. Hello. Hey, yeah, it's Jim again. I didn't hear back from you yet. I wasn't sure.
Oh, no.
Wasn't sure if you and Kate and some friends were.
Kate, seats, friends. Hamna. Ed Norton.
And meanwhile, it was such a nightmare because the show was sold out. So I called Esty. And I'm like, and she's like, we have no seats because you know how small the cellar is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but she might come down.
But it's Kate.
But
it's Kate. You got to throw someone out.
Well, this is before the show, so they were going to put her on those 3 little comedian seats, which are like floaters.
They stink. I got those seats one night.
I know.
It's just a bench.
Yeah,
and you can't. And
bench, no table, just so you know.
It's for comics.
Yeah.
Comics, if you comics bring your girlfriend or your friend, they got like one of those 3. They added those seats actually just for the comedians to have a place to put a friend. When you walk in, sometimes you got nowhere to sit.
Oh.
So, but I'm like, she's a movie star.
Yeah.
You put her on floaters.
She gets a table.
She doesn't care though. She just doesn't care.
She runs a tight ship down there.
She really doesn't. She's like,
help me out over here.
So she's like, hey, look, that's what we have. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I made sure that they were all clear when I got down there. Because even though I hadn't talked to the assistant, I'm like, maybe they're just going to show up.
They're just going to show up and surprise me.
Let me tell you something though. You had to be okay with those seats because the thought of her coming down and you sticking her on a bench is making me.
I agree. It turned out there was a couple of seats left. But I was like, you can't put Kate on a floater.
On a bench, on a floater. No, they're used to being treated like what they are, celebrities.
You're supposed to, like when you go down there, usually you're watching one comedian on there. Like you're going down watching your friend or the boyfriend or whatever it is for 10 or 15 minutes, then you leave. Those seats are constantly getting, that's why they have them there. Not for movie stars.
No.
But anyway, I figured, well, there's a chair available. There was some benches. There was a couple tables available.
Oh, okay.
Because people don't